So, for today's episode, halfway through watching the first season, TafTaj has hitched her cart to our ride. Welcome aboard.
It's true. Thanks, Dev.
So,
Welcome aboard.
TafTaj.
TafTaj is a friend of mine from a different sector of the internet, and I figured we could make the worlds collide. We'll see if we can bring you into like the arch Sargon sphere. You can say hello to some people.
Good. The plan to infiltrate it begins.
So, we are indeed halfway through the season, and you caught up to do this with us, right?
I did.
And how do you feel about the first 4 episodes?
I'll be controversial and say that I didn't think they were that bad. I thought they were very pretty. I'm not enough of a Lord of the Rings nerd to like notice every detail and be like, actually, this is not correct. I've been enjoying it. I think the pacing's a little bit slow, but it helps when you watch it on 2 times speed. So that's where I'm at.
Wait, you've been watching it on 2 times speed?
I had to catch up somehow. Okay.
I mean, each episode is an hour long. I'll grant her that. You know.
Quite a lot in there.
And after having watched it at 1x speed, I think, if anything, she's far smarter than us.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Maybe it is more
exactly.
enjoyable on 2 times speed. Who knows?
I glance over and I'm like, oh, thank God we're getting past the cringy parts and we're getting straight to the pretty scene. And that's all good.
And to be fair to the show, it does have some pretty good CG.
It does. It looks very expensive.
If you knew absolutely nothing about Lord of the Rings, and you just thought this was some kind of Game of Thrones-ish show, it might seem okay. But
What is your biggest critique of it so far?
is that it's not Lord of the Rings. Because Lord of the
What,
Rings
like-
has a specific style of storytelling, has a very specific world, and it's just none of those things. At least in my opinion. What do you guys think?
I kind of feel like it's missing that Tolkien vibe. Because if it was a Tolkien story, everybody'd be smoking a pipe. They always smoke pipes. The man
More
loves to
pipe
smoke.
smoking. That's what it needs.
Just toke it up, everybody. This Sauron old guy should just like spent the show smoking with the Harfoots.
Smoking
That
the
should be all he
fireflies.
does.
My biggest complaint is that it is aggressively not a Tolkien show. Like, they go out of their way to de-Tolkienify it. Like, Disa is a perfect example of this, because Disa is actually a quite good character, which is acted out in a fairly good way. And if it was just that she was black, I'd be like, 2022. But no, they also had to shave her, which genuinely annoys me, because, like, okay, you had a good character, a good actress here, and then you just had to have a middle finger.
Even in the Peter Jackson films, because I watched Return of the King today, actually, and one of the scenes where the Gondorian and Rohirric army are marching towards the Black Gate, there's actually a Black Gondorian in the background. But it doesn't bother me in the slightest, because, well, it's not done in such a way to be like, oh, we're being different. We're doing it to modernize the story. It's like, no, they just needed an extra actor, and, he fit the shoes, so good for
I
him.
mean, at the risk of sounding like, I don't know, a little bit racist, I think that the good thing about the characters that are black in this show is that it doesn't feel like they're drawing like great attention to the fact that they're black. Like, I feel like these characters are like just characters that happen to be black. And, any sort of like cultural associations to real world races seem like they're not really there. So I think that like when I watch these characters, like I can just see them as dwarves and elves, with the only thing, and like at the risk of retreading ground that we've already gone over, being like some aesthetic stuff. Like, I agree, it's a little bit weird to see like these very dwarfy characters, and then she like has barely any beard. I think that like does throw me off a little bit. But besides that, I think that the skin colors of the characters have been less jarring than I expected them to be.
I will say this, the show is not actually particularly woke in the traditional sense of the word.
I agree.
It is just in the casting choices and the fact that they seem to be making an effort to undermine Tolkien's work in many
There's
cases.
something I
Like,
want to
imagine if
point
they
out.
played into like strong independent black woman stereotypes or something.
Yes.
That would be like
imagine if they-
unbearable.
Had
Yeah.
contemporary allusions to like modern politics.
Exactly.
Especially like modern
Well-
racial politics. Imagine if they had this like, this is
Which
like
they
Trump.
haven't done yet.
Or hey, this is DeSantis. or whatever.
God,
Well-
that would be
well-
awful.
Well, hold on a second, Lilith, because we actually missed it in the last episode. We were joking about something else, and we actually let a line slip by where there's that one rioter who says that
Oh.
elven workers are coming to steal the trades of Numenor.
That's true.
They had that
The
one
thing
scene.
is,
And then I DM'd you. I was like, base to deport the elves.
Actually, notice how the black elf character, one thing that's weird about him that's also kind of jarring isn't necessarily the fact that he's black, but it's the fact that he's missing one of the core things that elves have. Sort of long, beautiful
Flowing
flowing hair.
Also,
Yes.
personality.
Yeah, that's true of a few elves. They have
'Cause he's-
like, short hair.
Because they shouldn't have short hair and stuff like that. Because they're always described in the books as to have long, very beautiful flowing hair.
again, it's one of those middle fingers that they know this isn't how elves look, but they decide, okay, we gotta fuck the community somehow. And I also don't like Arondir's actor at all. I think he's a plank of fucking wood who has precisely one facial expression.
He hasn't either. They're not throwing him a bone, or he's just not really taken the scenes by storm. Like what's that one
the
bad
thing
guy
is-
shows up? Remember, he stole that scene absolutely from under him.
Is it Adar or Adal?
Adar, or something
Adar,
like that.
yes.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He
I want to
shows
point
up.
out too
and it's
that
great in terms of his acting compared to his.
diversity hire elf isn't actually an actor. He's a fucking model.
Oh
What?
God, is that why you suck so much?
That's why
Yes.
he's
Oh my
zooming
god,
much
why
in
would
the
you
camera.
give him just have him play an extra, not be the front and center?
He does give off the. He does come
he
across
may
as like
also
a
get
plank of
extra
wood for most of
blowjobs.
the movie.
I
Yeah, he
totally
does.
see like the model thing because it does seem like he's kind of making faces. He's-
Blue steel.
I need to make
Yeah,
a face
exactly.
for the cover art of this poster. Okay.
Oh God, I think he's probably the worst character in the show. There's no character to him. Like Galadriel, even though she's not Galadriel from the movies or the books, she at least has a
Sorceress.
character. She's angry.
he's
You know,
like-
he
That
has
sort of
personality,
happens
yes.
to him.
He's
Like,
supposed to be a
He
sorcerer.
wanders around, he gets captured, and then he becomes like the only survivor because he's special or lucky.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe he'll become a
And
character.
and
later
he gets
on.
to meet, I don't know. And he gets to meet Adar.
And he also gets to have some human pussy, some humusy.
Ulysses.
Hussy, if you will.
I mentioned last week that I got a package from Amazon with the Lord of the Rings tape. Since uploading that video, I've been inundated with people posting me their images of Lord of the Rings packages. Apparently, everyone's getting this shit right now. There's Lord of the Rings tape on Amazon boxes. There's Lord of the Rings boxes. Like, if you order something from Amazon and it's big enough, you just get it in a giant Lord of the Rings chest. They're really going all out with the advertisement here for this show. They really want people to watch this.
I'm kind of curious
Got
to
a
see if it
Lord
has
of
an
the
impact.
Rings wrapping with one of my packages. Not all of them were Lord of the Rings packages, mind you.
Yeah.
They want us to watch the show. I'm already watching it, Amazon. I mean, of sorts. But
Not
hey.
paying for it. Thank you for your sacrifice, Kibs. We appreciate it. I was informed that apparently in the States, you guys get this all the time. Like apparently the what was that one show called? The Wheel of Time did it. They had like Wheel of Time advertisements in the packaging. But this is the first time it's happened in Canada. This is new to me. We've also been covering the review scandal and like the views and reviews. I don't know, TafTaj, if you heard about what's been going on, but there's been some evidence that Amazon is drastically inflating their view numbers. There's some evidence that Amazon is basically putting their finger on the scale of user reviews to make this show look a lot better than it actually is. I guess they just can't take the L on this one, you know?
I've got one bit of news, Dev, on that front. The reviews since the last time we did this dropped by 0.3 from their 5-star rating. So
Oh.
they are dipping down slowly.
And the actual reviews that are coming out on like mainstream reviews, news sites, you know, they're finally starting to say by episode 4 that it's just not a very good show. And you can see it on Forbes, and you can see it on even Screen Rant, which is, you know, very ideologically inclined. Even they said that Galadriel at this point is just unlikable.
How could they say that about such a strong, empowered woman? Are you just sexist?
Speaking of that, on The Guardian, The Rings of Power episode 4, the Queen stops being angry. People are just ripping, even the corpos are ripping into this show at this point.
That's a
And-
very bad sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the most positive corporate review that I've found for episode 4, okay? And this is on cbr.com. The Rings of Power episode 4 expertly blends triumph and tragedy. The connections between these seemingly disparate plot threads are beginning to come together, and halfway through season 1, The Rings of Power is putting its pieces into motion. Officially at the
Halfway to season 1.
Yes, yes. The show is briskly moving into its grander story, no longer fixated on introducing new characters and plot lines. Officially at the halfway mark, The Rings of Power Season 1 is ready to cut loose, and the back half of the season is poised to deliver the high fantasy goods as its story ramps into high gear. That's the praise. It'll get good, guys, trust us.
Hold on, it's gonna get better. I
To be
think.
fair, the recent episodes have been better than a lot
first
better
two,
than
yeah.
episode 1.
Yes, I completely
too.
agree. Yeah.
The first 2 were just nothing. Like, nothing existed, nothing happened. It was just characters being characters.
It was very slow.
Very
to
slow.
start.
Yeah,
agree.
I agree.
So everyone has been saying about the show that it's a slow burn, guys. The slow burn. And fair enough. I've watched some slow burn shows. You know, I really like Star Trek Deep Space Nine. That show is a slow fucking burn. That's like a 2-season slow burn on that show, okay? So I get it. I
But
understand.
It builds into something at the end. That's the nice part. All
Yes.
of that was building towards a greater idea.
Yeah.
And that's why the payoff was so good.
So if there's no payoff on this, it's gonna be really bad by the end of it. You know what I will say? So Star Wars Andor just came out, right? And I decided to
Mhm.
watch that show. They launched 3 episodes on their release day. That came out last night. So I watched
Yep.
that. And you know what? Like, it's not super amazing, but it's okay. And it actually is a real slow burn. I was pleasantly surprised. Now it's got fuck all to do with Star Wars because I don't know, for some reason Disney doesn't know what the fuck to do with this property. But it's an okay show, and they're actually doing a slow burn. Things do happen every scene. A story is progressing, and they're just chewing the fat a bit, you know? As compared to this show, which just did nothing for the first 2 hours.
The guys who were making Andor, he literally said that he couldn't care less about Star Wars. He wanted to make a spy thriller.
And here's the
Just
thing.
about spies with
Yeah,
Star
it's,
Wars
no,
skins.
it's actually a good spy thriller. Like, it's not bad. I'm actually enjoying it. But it shouldn't even have Star Wars attached to it. You could just make this as like a random sci-fi, whatever, and it would be fine. But they gotta use Star Wars. I don't know.
And
Just
there's the
make new
problem.
things. Just make new things, guys. Come on. It's okay.
If you're gonna make something that isn't the property, don't. Don't make something else. Simple as. Like, if I'm gonna watch a Star Wars show, odds are I'm gonna try and watch a Star Wars show.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, I want to watch Star Wars. As a Star Wars fan, I kind of like to watch Star Wars. I know that's a novel concept, but still.
But you don't want to see a rom-com set in a Star Wars universe?
Not particularly, no.
You don't want to see a cooking show?
Oh God.
Maybe.
I mean, that might be banger.
Could be. It could be really fun.
Well, they did that back in the holiday special. Remember that?
Yeah, and that went well. That
Oh,
went
God.
really well, didn't it?
God.
And it used
Okay.
to be the worst piece of Star Wars media.
So TafTaj,
Yes.
this is the kind of nerds complaining about shit that you've signed up for. How do you feel about it?
I feel good about it. Feels great. Even though I can't give insight on all of these properties.
Hmm.
I'm just happy to participate.
There have been like
I'm very much in a similar boat. I'm not like a super like Lord of the Rings nerd, but I like enjoying a shit show with people.
Yeah.
Fans and stuff.
and I
Exactly.
am like half of a nerd, so I can get some of it, you know.
Half normie.
I think it's time, Kibs. I think it's time for us to watch this on
Don't you-
1 time speed, unfortunately.
Sorry, but it's gonna be slow. Ah, not a fucking commercial. I already had to pay for Prime. Then they fucking have the audacity to show me commercials too.
I need your oath.
Oh my, simp. Maybe you should simp harder, simp.
That's not simping if I'm criticizing it.
Please skip the recap.
Are you
God.
sure you want to skip it?
Yes. They're recapping
Okay.
barely anything.
What about the intro?
Skip
Okay.
skip it. Skip all of it. Skip the episode, Kibs. We'll just
You
pretend
like
we
to look
watched
at
it.
the rocks? Look at the rocks, Dev. Look, more rocks. Oh,
Oh,
you
God.
broke it, Dev.
Oh.
How could you?
It's all those viewers. That's what's so leggy.
Oh God, no, no, no!
Yes.
We've
Yes.
gone too long without seeing them.
Fucking Harfoots. I wish they would clean their hairs.
He's totally getting a makeover later.
So Mauler and I have a friendly bet of an unspecified sum of money on who this guy actually is. I say Sauron, he says Gandalf.
You're here to help.
I mean, if it's Gandalf, that defies the lore, but okay. I'm not
I do think
surprised.
it's like a minor wizard, like
Others should be
Gandalf.
ready by
That's
now.
One of the blue guys? Yeah.
Yeah,
What
something like that.
What the fuck is on your head?
It's
It's
camouflage.
This is fashion. Singing is very Tolkien.
You guys could have gone around that. Like, they showed a way just over there.
The shore is like right next to it.
This has gone on long enough.
This is
It ends
exactly
now.
what the books are like, though.
But
Where it's
fair
like, here's
enough.
another long song.
I sang for 3 days straight. But wait, don't put that in.
That
Don't
is
put it in
some
the movie.
high fucking quality iron work in right there.
The entire rest is just a musical.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see the good guy energy
Yeah.
in that giant eye he left on the ground.
Listen, the sun is a symbol of good.
Mauler, I'm coming to collect, buddy.
Uh-oh. Lisa Malcor.
Are we gonna see Eminem?
Yep.
Oh good, they're dressed all in white too. White's the common
There he
color
is.
of evil.
Is that a girl or a boy? I'm genuinely not sure. I think it's a girl.
Well, it appears to have tits. Not that that means anything these days, but still.
The message of the show is that androgynous people are evil, by the way.
I knew it.
I can
That
get
was
behind
like an
that.
old demonic trope, wasn't it? Like demons
Yeah.
have both genitals and stuff.
Slanesh.
Oh look, the orcs are out in the sun again and don't really care.
Well, he seems to be under a hood.
He looks very uncomfortable.
He's
Yeah, he's
wearing
all
his
hidden.
hijab.
Soon it will be gone. And with it,
Global warming will block out the sun.
the Lilith warmth as well.
Global warming is actually good because it hurts orcs. You need SPF 50, at least.
Ah, we're gonna have a speech. Good.
Wait, how did he get his armor back? He lost it in the hole.
Our enemy vows to
Details,
That's
details, Dev.
But if you choose to stand with me and fight, this tower will no longer be a reminder of our
Excuse me,
frailty,
who put you
but
in
a
charge?
symbol of our strength.
The scriptwriter, actually.
She's the only notable woman in this plotline, so she's in charge.
Not your deliverance.
Oh, he's the guy that was corrupted by the sword, right? Yes.
He's
Follow
not
the
gonna
crack
go-
addict.
With some random guy over his mother.
Yep.
Something for which you evidently care little.
I'm enjoying this, actually. Maybe they can do a real hero's journey with this guy. Now he's just gotta find his Obi-Wan.
Come with me. Forgive me for not sending word to you sooner.
Whenever I keep seeing that guy's name, I always think Phazon from Metroid.
When I speak, his ears close up.
It's a condition.
We skipped ahead a few months.
Yeah. How did he
Look
get
at
out of
that.
prison? What happened
Really
here?
occurred.
that's
Listen,
a
he's
very
been
good
accepted into the Trades Guild now, okay? Because
When did this happen?
reasons. Dev is asking questions again. Make him stop.
I'm
Just
an
accept that the plot is
expert.
moving forward.
I'm certain your fellowship will prove just as invaluable once you make landfall.
Don't you dare say the word fellowship.
And 500 men to aid your people. And place a crown upon your
500?
head.
That's
wow.
it.
Many might assume.
Find another head to crown.
Wait, was that his guild crest?
No, I
that's
think
his-
that was his fancy little wolf head
Okay,
thing.
yeah. It was like kind of mixing up in the symbolism there, but okay, yeah.
Keep moving.
Guys, get some horses or something. Jesus. I mean, I guess they're kind of too small for him. Get some llamas then. I don't know.
We're getting hungry.
I guess the nomadic people didn't actually bring any food for the journey. Don't worry, Harfoots. You've put branches in your hair. They'll never find you.
Yes. Perfect camouflage.
Whoa. Wait, there's gonna be more bad CG, dog?
Aglarg! Oh yeah, they'll never get you in there. No, that's more of a Warvarg.
No idea how I survived this far.
Wolves growling. I beg to differ, Division. I very beg to differ.
Wait a minute.
Nothing like casting a thunderclap.
And so Galadriel marches forth to humiliate some poor motherfucker.
Anyone that does, I will promote.
Never mind, I was wrong. She's gonna humiliate them all. Right, this is easy. It's just a woman.
He is an elf.
Humiliation in 3. No? You're gonna slow it down a bit?
When it's so predictable, it's boring.
My dude, you could swing even wider if you tried, but it'd be hard.
You're not even trying to hit her.
Fight with your feet, not your arms.
Okay, so if all 20 of you jump in, if you're gonna do it like this,
She'd still be Therastus.
He's gonna score a hit on her.
On the bright side, I didn't hate the choreography there.
Yeah, no. It was
not like the
slow
Star
enough that you
Wars
could actually
episode.
see what's happening.
yeah. And you know what? To be fair,
Keep moving.
if someone was going to score a hit, it would have to be like a named character, like this guy or Halbrand. Yeah.
Well done, Lieutenant.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be
Oh?
Isildur. That'd been a great way to get him back in.
But hey,
Yeah.
he was the first guy to start initiative.
Well, our expectations have been subverted.
And I'm
Perfect.
disappointed even. I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of a clever way to get Isildur in.
Mm-hmm.
Never
Oh, well.
mind.
No, don't worry, the no-name character will get in.
My father would sooner die than take orders from an elf.
Where did your racism go, father?
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten some elf pussy lately. He's like, what?
No, Daddy's gotten some long-term racism in his sights.
Elves will take orders from us.
See?
Also,
No,
he's a
Marks,
super
no.
racist.
You can't be secretly racist against the chosen people.
On the elven question.
Nothing.
Darkness.
Man, I'm invested. Things are happening. I'm pleasantly surprised.
I mean, the story is moving finally. This is true.
To an outsider like this before.
This feels like hour 3 of the season, not hour 5, but still.
No, same. My fingers are really icy in the morning too.
That feel when it's 3 a.m. and your GF wants to snuggle and she's freezing cold.
No, I'm not lucky enough that this'll kill her.
Typically takes you people weeks just to decide to take a ship.
If I may.
What?
The hand of time.
We shall have to send it home with you so it can be treated with the proper respect.
It's only a 5-minute walk. Sure, it'll be fine. Did he just Jew him out of his table?
Two peoples, then,
Yep.
to the Union.
It does certainly look that way.
Very impressive.
And he didn't even get the answer that he wanted in return.
Yeah, no, that was a very shrewd act of Jewry.
Lightning ensnared the tree.
I still have a feeling they're going to do the Balrog. Like 1,000 years earlier, they're going to do it.
A power as
Probably.
pure and light as good.
It had wings in that
strong
shot.
and unyielding as evil.
Very controversial.
Keeping your promise to his people. meant ensuring the doom of your own.
Well, I guess we're just gonna have to have a race war, aren't we?
Jesus.
Peace was never an option.
The light of the Eldar, our light, is fading. Did the dwarves find the ore or not?
I swore an oath to Durin. To some, that may now hold little weight.
I mean, that answer basically is yes.
Yeah.
But in my estate,
Be dangerous. I wager it'll all be over by the time I get off the boat.
Just don't tell my father. He keeps crying to everyone with ears. His future son-in-law's a war hero.
That guy's definitely gonna die.
He's got a nice death leg right there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Those are all of his friends that he fucked over, eh?
You're only apologizing because you think, now that I've been promoted, I can get you on the expedition.
I would never, but yes. He's committing sabotage. How could he? Don't you have more pressing things to worry about right now?
Start drinking it, guys.
Get out of here.
Oh wait, no, that's not alcohol.
Anyone know I saw you? Hand me the lantern. Don't.
Yeah, make things worse. Yeah, see, good job.
Good job, Isildur, you klutz fuck.
Good job.
That's not quite how it works, but never fucking mind.
It's an ammo detonation, Arch, of black powder.
Well, where did that one come from?
Secondary explosions. You know, that's how explosions work.
On another ship?
No, on the same.
No, that was the second ship.
He saved my life. He could have just left, but he saved my life.
Why are you lying for him?
This is how he gets on the expedition. He's going to be a hero for saving him. And all it took was sinking their fleet.
I mean, wouldn't he be a hero for catching the saboteur? Yeah, 2 ships.
Yeah.
Huh. So I guess the first ship exploded so hard the second one just went like, I want to do that too.
Yep.
This was clearly an attempt to kindle your
They remember Blackwater from Game of Thrones. Like, we can do that too.
We believe if we can secure vast quantities of it quickly, enough to saturate every last elf in the light of the Valar once more. And yes.
I don't think this is how Mithril works.
Yeah. See, what I remember is that the elves made the rings to keep themselves from dying and their civilization from decaying. But Mithril wasn't part of that story, as far as I can remember.
Did the High King deceive me?
I'm pretty sure this is all bullshit.
Why do you keep fighting?
Because I cannot stop. I believe they could no longer distinguish me from the evil I was fighting.
You know, that's not a bad twist.
I'm sorry.
She is a war-crazy maniac.
Yeah.
For your brother.
The thing is,
For all of
she's a very interesting character. She's just not Galadriel.
Your sorrow cannot.
Because this is actually a pretty great scene.
I know what a hammer and tongs is yours.
If she wasn't it, yeah.
There is
Yeah.
no peace
Hey,
in
even then, though, like, her entire reasoning is based on, I can't stop fighting.
peace in any path,
Like, okay, it's
but
not a
that which lies
good
across
motivation, but...
I don't mind.
Sometimes that works, though.
I'm a psychopath.
Yeah, I don't mind the whole PTSD haunted, can't give up the cause, you know?
She doesn't have PTSD. She'd never fought in the fucking war.
Okay,
Not
fair
even
enough.
in this
But
show
like,
that she did.
you know, the story of someone who's just consumed by violence.
The problem is she
funneling
hasn't
an
committed any
archetype.
violence.
Frostful.
That's also true, Arch. Like, they only have half the story here. And plus, the linchpin is that this kind of character can't be Galadriel. This is the kind of character who, like, would have killed someone and then regretted it or something. And it would have worked.
They forgot about the other half of the story.
Yeah.
Didn't like that.
You are Sauron, are you not?
No. He's a fucking elf, you moron.
He chose poorly.
It took me over 200 years to develop the bravery that's keeping me standing here tonight. You found it in only 14. And we're going to need it in the fight to come.
All of his wounds have closed up too.
It's that magic human lovin'.
There's something you don't know.
I've seen this before. It is a key. Conjured by some forgotten craft of the enemy to enslave your ancestors.
Blood device.
You appear to be mildly outnumbered.
You know, I didn't see the sword hilt being a key. I didn't call that one.
This is like Helm's Deep Light. They didn't have the budget, okay?
Store brand Helm's Deep.
Walmart, you know, it's not very... Oh my god, they brought the fucking tablet.
Wait, they're just carrying it back? I think elves
Yeah.
have horses, though.
This has been wanting a new table for years, so.
I told you.
Alright, that's pretty good.
Enough with the quail. Soft! Give me the meat, and give it to me raw.
Give it to me raw.
My kind must either abandon these shores by spring or perish.
That was a sudden fucking timeline, but okay.
Yeah.
How?
Do you mean spring in 1,000 years, or
Our immortal souls will
a few months?
dwindle into nothing.
This is not how Mithril fucking works. See, I'm assuming this is a way to make the whole dug too deep, too greedily into less of just a, Jew move and more of a move out of necessity.
Mm.
So the fate
But this isn't how
of the
Mithril
entire
works.
elven race is in my hands. Whose hands?
Yours.
I do like that he actually went clean with him, though. Didn't do anything shenanigan-y.
Yeah, I
Or
like the
stupid.
solution a lot better.
Better than the George R. R. Martin show.
He bought that awfully quick. Then again,
He did
Eladon
come
has been
clean.
honest with him.
Hold on a second. It's not a long journey back. It's 5 minutes.
Just, a screen transition. It's, oh, yeah, true.
Have we seen a horse in this show, incidentally? Just
Yeah, I want to say yes. In
'cause
Numenor a few times.
I think only a Numenor, though, because I don't think the garrison had any horses.
they're
We saw a
carrying
cow.
that fucking enormous slab of stone back.
Yeah. We saw a cow, and it had all the black milk.
Oh, don't remind me of that scene. That was gross. That's like bad chocolate milk.
Maybe the showrunners just really don't like horses.
Horses are expensive.
Somebody just stole it. That's a
Oh,
trend.
No,
there you
he
go.
turned back to get it.
There's horse.
Aragorn has decided that he wants to be king after all.
It's a thin line of like fucking soldiers. Oh my god.
I'm like hawk-eyed right now, on the lookout for that T-shirt with the printed armor pattern. I want to see if we can catch it in the wild.
Face looks dumb. I thought I'd point that out.
Listen, Kibs, I think she's a cutie. I'd simp.
You disgust me, Dev.
How could you?
I'd sub to her OnlyFans.
Wow. You've got that kind of free spending money. I think they're wearing the shirt now, maybe. Take a close look at those dudes.
They are.
In the
armpit.
The Under Armour is
In the
weird.
armpit. Oh
Weird.
my god, they actually have it.
Where did she get that from?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they just have
She
one
get
lying
that
around.
from.
Where did she get that from?
She got it from the promotional department, Arch.
She swam here, and I'm pretty sure she didn't bring that.
She didn't. Where was it?
I guess they just made it for her, maybe?
They just made it.
It's like the same armor and everything.
Yeah, no, that is the exact same armor.
That's right, because she wore that suit before at the start of the
Yeah.
show. But she left it
Yeah.
behind when she got on the boat. So they just made her identical armor. And she just like described it to them, I guess.
Is very stupid, Dev. I want you to know that. Did the show just forget that she swam here?
I mean, Arch, I wish I could.
Alright, so I need mastercrafted elven armor with intricate patterning, and I need it, like, next week.
Alright, coming right up, boss. It'll be made out of styrofoam, though.
And I'm paying you an exposure.
I really hate those sails, by the way.
Listen, Arch, they catch wind, except for the wind that goes in between them.
Except for the wind that goes in between there.
That's caught by the front sail, which catches the future wind. Ooh, singing.
Wow.
No, Kyle, it's fine. We don't need singing.
Nope, we don't need it. We don't need it, Kyle.
Okay,
What's wrong? Don't you want it?
That was
Incredible.
an
The best show
episode of a
ever.
TV show, if nothing else. I'm still not particularly involved, honestly.
Wait a second. Kibs! Kibs,
Hi.
turn it off!
Closed
You
it!
enormous fuck up. There you
Oh,
go.
Jesus. All right. Okay, so here's... I think I've finally discovered my major issue with this show after watching this episode, okay? I formulated my dev thesis.
Oh, here we go.
Everything happening in this show is a mystery box. It's all mystery box writing. And mystery boxes have become... They've, like, steadily gained in popularity since Lost back in the 2000s, right? People love their mystery box writing. The problem with a mystery box in a prequel, though, is that we know where it's going to go. You know? Like, what's the ore going to be? Oh, it's going to be mithril. What are the rings going to do? Oh, like we know all this stuff already because we know where it goes. So they have to either change the lore, which is no good, or they have to introduce mystery boxes that don't really have any consequence to the wider story.
The idea that mithril is solid light that can reinvigorate the elves does have enormous significance for the wider story. In fact, it has ridiculous significance for the wider story.
And yeah, and that's the changing the lore part. Yeah.
And see, that's the problem. I fucking hate mystery boxes because I view them as lazy ass goddamn writing. It's simply just, and then this magical thing appeared because aha! Like, it has no sense or reason. Okay, so the people were enslaved by a sword. No, that's not how this fucking functions. The Sword of Sauron does not have the power to enslave a people. So they just have to make that shit up and go like, there's a mural over there with a sword on it. That's why it's a key. You're pulling this out of your ass.
Yeah, it's kind of like, there's a key. It's like, okay, do we know it's a key? Like, have you... What evidence do you have suggested? It's like, whoa, you see, I knew about this mural here from 200 years ago. It's like, okay.
I think that the show is like very safe in a lot of ways. Like with other shows, there are these moments where like, oh my god, that's like crazy. And it really like, I don't know, there's great moments of awe. I feel like this show's like scared to really give those to you.
Yeah, aside from the CG.
Yeah, just like the everyday CG.
I think they might be trapped in the confines of it being a sequel. So there's
a
only so
prequel?
much they can do. Or a prequel, yeah.
Yeah.
There's only so much they can do with that.
But they have so much lore they could have done something with, and instead they're just not doing it.
They could have written the story that Tolkien wrote. But they're not interested in that. They are interested in actively fucking it, because they are interested in actively claiming it. This is to be Amazon's Lord of the Rings. That's why they're looking at mithril now and going like, oh yeah, no, this is a magic metal that the elves need. No, it isn't.
The new writing team is trying to make this their own project, and I understand why, because they're trying to adapt it, but into their workflow. But the issue is, you gotta have a better understanding of what Tolkien's vision was, and instead of making your vision, you should instead be trying to follow in his footsteps to try to complete what he was going for to begin with.
Well, they did directly say that this is they're like breaking free out from Tolkien's shadow, and this is the Lord of the Rings that Tolkien never wrote, and all like they said a lot of that stuff in the lead up to the show. So they were really they were really setting the stage for them saying, "Yeah, fuck lore."
Which is very disrespectful to the fans. It's disrespectful to the source material. It's disrespectful to the author. You shouldn't try to dismiss the author that came before you, the guy who built all of this. Instead, you should honor that work and you should do your best to try to pay homages to his vision in the most respectful way you can.
It's also the fucking hubris of it. Like, these are people that go like, no, we can do way better. Like, I'm sorry, but this is no goddamn Lord of the Rings. This is not even close. Like, if I'm being generous now, I might lift the show to like a 5 or a 6. And they're like, oh, we know better. Yeah, out of 10.
Out of 100. Lore complaints aside, how about the show in a vacuum? What are you all thinking?
Half-assed at best.
Pretty average. Impressive
I
scenes.
think it's all right.
For a random show.
Yeah, the issue is their writing
I feel
is
like it's
too
got
goddamn
this.
forced.
Well, it just feels like it's always on like the precipice of like something really interesting happening. Where like you get these scenes with Galadriel and you're like, oh, like maybe her character is gonna go in this direction and that would be really interesting. Or that just happens with like every character. And it is kind of like the mystery box thing where it's hard to judge it because it's kind of promising a lot. It's like, listen, guys, it's gonna get really good, is kind of what the show's constantly saying. And if it delivers on that, that's cool. And then you can just say, well, it was a bit slow. But if it doesn't deliver on it, then that'll make all the previous moments feel a lot more cheap. It hasn't delivered yet, I don't think.
No,
We have
it
3
hasn't.
episodes
Writing,
left, so...
it's writing with a presumption. Like, they've made up a story, and now they're working their way towards it. Now, suddenly, Galadriel is like, oh, no, I just have to fight. Because, okay, why do you have to fight? Well, I don't know about that, but this is my reason, you see. I'm becoming evil, and I see it now. You haven't presented this previously. This, at no point earlier was there any indication that Galadriel was doing this for any sort of outside force. Like, the only reasonable rationale appeared to be vengeance for her brother, because that's all where it started. She didn't fight in the war against Morgoth. She hasn't seen action. And she's talking like, I'm an expert in fighting orcs. You probably haven't even seen one. Like, she hasn't deserved any of this. And now she has a scene which is a decent scene, but it's not for her character. It's for another character.
But I mean, I think it is like okay if she's just like delusional a little bit, right? Like a warrior
Galadriel the
who like
Insane.
no, just like someone who's like young and like I mean in elf years, but like relatively young and wants to prove themselves and believes that they can do all of these things, but ultimately is going to kind of be disillusioned and then has to move through that disillusionment to like fulfill their character arc. I think that that's like an interesting character arc. That's definitely an archetype that can be good.
The issue is, 1, she's one of the oldest elves alive, and 2, she's not going to be moving through anything. She is the
really
maddest
oldest
character.
like right now though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's one of the oldest elves alive.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is the wrong character to do
Undermines.
that story with.
And
Yes,
she's
sir.
not going to move through it. She cannot be allowed to fail. Like, she takes on, like, what, 6, 7 people and humiliates them utterly. And the best one manages to do is scratch her clothing, which doesn't even fulfill the actual...
But she is an elf, in fairness, and they're all humans.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Elves aren't that fucking good. That's the thing, too. An elf
Hold
can be
on,
killed by an
Arch,
orc.
hold on. I'm going to disagree with you here because Legolas did surf on a shield down a staircase.
Okay. No, elves are like supernaturally talented. And also she has like hundreds of years of experience on these people.
No, she doesn't. She does not. She's been
No?
fighting a war for a couple of years, tops.
Yeah, but she's had lots of time to train and practice.
No, she hasn't. She's Galadriel.
What do you
She
mean?
hasn't trained. She's never picked up a sword before her brother died.
That's like explicitly like she's never trained.
Yes, because there wasn't a war. Like, the concept of war didn't exist until Morgoth appeared.
Yep, that's true.
But
Yeah.
the whole thing about Galadriel is she's not a warrior. In the story, she's actually a sorcerer.
Yeah, she was a sorceress. Yeah, she was supposed to be like a backline
So it's
kind of person.
very weird that she's taking this frontline role because Galadriel's clever. She's very powerful. In fact, very powerful. She's one of the most powerful characters on the side of good, I guess you could say, in terms of her actual magical capabilities. But she's always reserved because she's more of a tactician. She's always thinking ahead. about the general positioning of things. She's never directly involved. And that's kind of the problem with the show, is they've kind of butchered her character. Her brilliance is diminished, and her intellect is diminished, because instead of her intellect being her strength, it's not even her strength. She's kind of an idiot. She's just
Yes, I could see that.
she's kind of a warrior. They've taken away her brilliance, and that's the part that bothers me. Because she's supposed to be very, very smart. She's supposed to see the broader picture. And she kind of did in the beginning, 'cause she understood Sauron was still around, but they didn't really, they should have focused on that. Like, okay, like, all right, how do you understand that? Like, show us how you put those pieces of the puzzle together so that you came up with it. Like, no, Sauron's still a threat, and here's why. Here's all these really, like, well thought out reasons, all these clues and evidence.
But she saw it at Emblem, Kibs.
Yeah, and they I know, but they just do it like, oh, she found it in an archive, and she finally now got the proof. It's like, that's not very Galadriel. Galadriel's like, she's supposed to be smarter than this. I don't know. It feels like a disservice to the character.
To get back to the point about the fighting skills, even Legolas, who was an exceptional fighter by even Elven standards, he only takes on a couple of enemies at once and kills them quickly. Like, at no point is Legolas under attack by like 6-7 orcs and carrying out a lengthy duel against them whilst not killing them.
I don't know. I feel like this is not the most unbelievable thing. Like, these are like not super trained recruits that are just
these are like
humans.
kids, yeah.
Well, 2 of those people were Sea Guard trainees. They were the ones who were kicked out of the Sea Guard after Isildur did these things. They are trained fighters.
That's true. There's at least 2 of them that are. I know that
Have
they were
they,
just
like,
recruiting a
gone
lot
to
of
war
raw
there
guys, though.
themselves?
And plus, he, oh god, I forgot his name. But the boss man said that they had more recruits than they had spaces. These aren't randos from the street. He has the pick of the crop.
I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like these guys have not really seen war either, though. Like, most of their training is going to be just, practice.
I think the implication is that they're inexperienced and they haven't seen proper fighting.
Right. That's like my reading of their characters.
I think that's what they're trying to do, but I'm not sure if they necessarily got that across. But I kind of see it, yeah. Okay, that'll do it for this week. Thanks for being here, everyone. Welcome aboard TafTaj.
Thanks, Dev.
Hey, just out of curiosity, if we do continue to do this stuff, what show do we do next after this one's over? You guys want to do She-Hulk?
No.
I wouldn't mind doing She-Hulk. It seems cringy enough.
God, you guys are masochists.
I don't know. How much?
Sounds brutal.
We'll watch the Vine Boom twerk.
How much cancer do you want to contract?
Catch 'em all, I guess.